because it kind of is important to this whole situation. VIP, although VIP, is still very, very open to the public. Artist passes, however, are passes that you cannot buy. The only way you can get a hold of them is through a brand getting them from the actual festival or through having a personal connection to one of the artists or bands that are playing. It's in a very, very highly secured area that is not open to the public. Along with artist passes though, there's also something called a performer pass and backstage passes and a lot of other things that can keep you more protected. Keep in mind, weekend 1, I did have an artist pass. Weekend 2, I had a VIP going into the situation. When we walked into weekend 2 with me and my friends on Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st, we noticed that there was a major difference in the crowd. We were in the VIP section and I started getting mobbed really quickly at a super unsafe capacity because, as many of you guys know, whenever we stop to take a photo, kind of other people tend to come and it just turned into a big situation, and it honestly was not safe. I had remembered from weekend 1 that my friend Nikita Dragon, who I was with a lot of the time, was brought by Sugar Bear Hair and had an artist pass, personal security, and backstage passes and was very taken care of and safe. When I felt unsafe in the situation, I panicked and I texted Nikita and asked her if she had a connection to the Sugar Bear Hair team that could potentially help me out. Nikita replied right away and she gave the Sugar Bear Hair team my personal phone number, to which they reached out to me and offered to come rescue me with a pass and backstage access and security to make sure that I was okay and was able to enjoy the festival along with my friends.
You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra, handful of passes that cost thousands of dollars a piece, like just in case. That leads me to believe that this was orchestrated beforehand, but he had an emotional conflict because of me and promises he made to me behind the scenes. So he had to come up with a very clever story and didn't tell me right when he got back, but after the little bit was posted on their launch day.
Despite what Tati said in her video, this whole situation was definitely not a big scheme that was orchestrated beforehand. It really did happen on the spot. The Sugar Bear Hair team texted me the proposal right away. No money was involved, and with no time to negotiate, in a panic, I signed, and that was that on that.
Jamescharles, he had 9 days after Coachella to talk to me.
On Monday, April 22nd, which was one day after Coachella, I was due to post my stories based on my contract. And up until that moment, I honestly had not thought about the fact that Tati was a Sugar Bear Hair competitor. And in that moment, I thought that as a friend, she deserved a courtesy text to let her know the context of the sponsorship and everything that was going on.
To not even get a phone call, to not even get a text a few days prior, but right after that sponsored post went up, to have a text like, "Hey mom, love you, I'm stressed. Just so you know, XYZ, I just did this post, but it's no big."
Before posting my stories, I actually did text Tati first out of respect for her, giving her heads up about the sponsorship, but she was immediately upset. I tried my best to kind of explain the entire situation and also give her a direct apology as well, but at this point I had signed the contract and I absolutely had to post it. There was no getting out of it. I then headed to the airport and took off on a flight to San Francisco, and by the time that I had landed 1 hour later, Tati had uploaded all of her Instagram stories of her crying, talking about the friends in the community that haven't really supported her, how she was alone, and how she felt very hurt and betrayed. Very quickly, people put 2 and 2 together and realized that this was clearly about me, and I started getting thousands and thousands of tweets and comments and texts about the whole situation. Throughout the next several hours, I made countless attempts to text both Tati and her husband James, and many phone calls as well, trying to reach them, all of which they did not respond to. And later on that night, while sitting in my hotel in San Francisco, because I could not reach Tati, I issued a public apology directly on my Instagram because I really wanted to make sure she saw that I was sorry, and I wanted to end the situation by taking full responsibility for my actions. Over the next several days, I made countless attempts to contact both Tati and her husband James on all their different phone numbers. I texted and called Tati's business number, her family number, and also James's personal phone number as well. After a full entire week of trying to reach out and handle things in private with Tati and her husband James and getting no response, I figured at this time it'd be best to just respect their space, give them their privacy, and that whenever Tati was ready, she would reach back out to me to handle things in private and hopefully move on with our friendship. That is everything in regards to the Instagram stories. Now that we've talked about that, I want to discuss a few other things in Tati's video that were misleading and false.
The reason that James always said that he couldn't promote Halo on his channel and really do like, you know, heavy endorsement was because he has a teenage audience and it would just be inappropriate.
Now, this line was just confusing to me, mostly because this conversation never actually happened. If you guys know my channel, you would know that I don't really do dedicated product reviews ever, which is what Tati is known for. But even though that is the case, I've still multiple times talked about her products on all my social media networks. I have to word that, okay, I forgot to say too. Hello. I'm going to a really important event later on tonight. My best friend.
We are going to a very important event.
Yes, this is true. And this is a very important launch to me because it is my best friend Tati. She's launching something new on Halo Beauty. Super proud of her. By the time this video is out, it'll already be up. So go check it out. Promo for Tati. Love you the most.
Who doesn't need a little beauty boost every now and then? Two of the following statements are real claims made by the original Halo Beauty Booster supplement.
Oh!
Which are the real ones?
Can I just say I love you guys for putting a Halo question in there. I love you for that.
I just received my package from Halo Beauty. This is Tati's brand new brand. I did not tell Tati that I was buying these, but I did pay for these myself because I just wanted to support her, and I'm so happy. I know she's getting a lot of backlash on this, which is making me so mad because I know she's worked so hard on these for the past several years now. Congratulations, Tati. I love you literally so much, and I'm very, very proud of you and all your hard work. I do want to keep this video strictly based on facts and receipts, but one of the most hurtful things Tati did in her video was bring up my mom and question her parenting. No tears this time. My mom is the strongest woman I have ever met. She is kind, she is creative, and she is caring. She is a cancer survivor, and she balances a marriage, a full-time job, and raising 2 boys with absolutely crazy lives. She's taught me so much in the past, and when I've made a mistake, she has never turned to public humiliation as a form of punishment. All that being said, I love my mom, and I think she's doing a damn good job, if I do say so myself.
The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again, and somehow you're the victim. You know, it's really disgusting to manipulate someone's sexuality, especially when they are still, you know, emerging into adulthood and don't quite have everything figured out. You are using your fame, your power, your money to play with people's emotions, and you're doing that to have them behave sexually in your favor, even if they're straight. And you know what? That's not okay. And how dare you laugh about it and make meme after meme and retweet and this and that and I love straight boys, and make it a joke. Because this behavior is not normal, it's not okay. Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room.
First of all, I'm a 19-year-old virgin. I talk about boys quite a lot on my social media networks. Clearly at this point, it is not acceptable anymore. We're talking about that in a little bit, I promise you. But just thought I would bring it up, put it out into the universe. I don't really get a lot of action. We have probably guessed this at this point. So that being said, I have never and would never and will never use my fame, money, or power to manipulate or get any sexual actions from a guy. That is disgusting. It is not me. And the fact that Tati brought this up blows my mind because she knows the real story. The story that we're talking about here is a situation that happened when I was in Seattle for Tati's surprise party with a boy named Sam. Now, I'm going to tell you the full story since everybody seems to be leaving out literally every single detail. In Tati's video, she mentioned that she was disgusted and had to apologize to her family for me apparently saying things that I wanted to do to a waiter and then justifying those actions by saying, I am a celebrity. Okay, this literally did not happen. What did happen is that me, Jeffrey, Nate, and my best friend Drew all flew to Seattle to surprise Tati for her birthday on February 14th. That night, we went out to dinner with Tati and James and her whole family, and we're in a restaurant. There was a cute boy across the restaurant that I kept making eye contact with and that I was interested in. And the conversation of dating for me and Jeffrey both came up at the dinner table, and we were talking about it for a very, very short period of time. The conversation never got inappropriate. Period. The boy that was involved with the story is named Sam. Now, when I originally wanted to do this video addressing everything, I did plan on crossing his name and keeping him completely private, but he has since come out and made a video of his own talking about the situation, just like Tati leaving out many, many details. But in his video and in the screenshots that I have, Sam mentioned that he was perfectly fine and found the flirting that I was doing flattering. So I'm not really sure why this got turned into something much bigger, but it simply was not.
And he was looking at me later on that night. He started talking to the other employees about me, asking me if I had a Valentine. This was on Valentine's Day, where he especially thought that I was very attractive and he wanted to get my phone number and all that. But the wait staff at my restaurant didn't let that happen. He left and it kind of just went untalked about.
The I'm a celebrity thing is really incredibly frustrating to me because this is an inside joke between my friends and I that Tati has also participated in, and she twisted this to be something far worse than what it is. This is the joke that really is where we say I'm famous, not I'm a celebrity, and it's something that we don't say in public very often because without context, I get it, it looks and sounds really, really bad, trust me. Literally, famous is synonymous with anything good. So yeah, if my YouTube video does well one day, my friends will say, oh my God, James, you're so famous. But literally, if my friend takes a good Instagram photo, oh my God, you're so famous. If our boneless buffalo wings at Chili's are extra delicious one day, oh my God, these wings are so